And then finally, to give people, Americans, particularly children, the ability to have physical activities in the airport, have playgrounds. Our kids, one out of every 5 American kids is obese. About 75% of our kids are not eating the minimum for daily physical activity. Our children are spending, on average, more than 5 hours a day on recreational screen time. We got to give them other options. Part of that is our fault. We need to give other options to our kids. So they're exercising, they're moving their bodies, they're developing their physical coordination, they're developing their physical confidence, and all of the good qualities, character qualities that come with this. So I'm very, very excited. HHS is very excited about working with our companions over at the Department of Transportation and Secretary Duffy and helping to develop these alternatives that are going to make flying more friendly, but also the travel experience healthier for every American so that we can make America healthy again as the President has directed us.
I would just note on the President Trump's side, he has encouraged all of the departments to work together, to collaborate together, because he knows when we all work together, we advance his agenda even further. And I'm grateful for him, and I'm grateful to you, Senator Kennedy. I started a conversation. My daughter pointed out a video from Dr. Paul Saladino where he was complaining about there was no pull-up bars in airports, which prompted me to call Secretary Kennedy to give me Paul's number to start the conversation. But he has been a leader in thinking about what do we have for food choices, but also movement choices in airports. And so I'm grateful that he's here today with us, Paul Saladino.
Thank you, Secretary Duffy. It's good to be here with you both. When you think about it, airports are one of the most sedentary places that we are as Americans. The traveling experience in general is probably the single most sedentary thing that we do, between sitting in an Uber to the airport, sitting in the airport, waiting for your flight, delayed flight, sitting on a flight for 3 or 4 hours, getting to your destination, sitting in another Uber. It's a very sedentary thing to travel. And as Secretary Kennedy says, 3 million Americans every day are traveling and doing this and engaging in sedentary activities or lack of activities. What we know very clearly is that when we are sedentary, this is bad for us as humans. Even 1 single hour of sitting in inactivity can create vascular dysfunction within our bodies. 2 to 3 hours of sitting, not moving at all, can increase inflammatory markers in the human body. We know that less than half of all Americans get a recommended amount of activity, and that 70+% of Americans are obese and overweight. Between being overweight, metabolic dysfunction, and the level to which we are sedentary and inactive as Americans, these are directly linked to the things that kill us most as Americans, to cardiovascular disease, to diabetes, to obesity. And yet, a lot of this could be made better. As someone that travels a lot for my own work, I know this firsthand. I'm in airports traveling to podcasts or make videos to share information with people across the country, and it's hard for me to be the weird guy in the corner doing air squats or doing a handstand. Everybody, it's not really encouraged in airports to do that kind of stuff. So I love Secretary Duffy's intention to make airports more understanding, but I also am super excited about the possibility of getting mini gyms, little airport workout spaces for humans. We know, according to a 2025 study, that over $190 billion of healthcare spend is directly attributable to inactivity in Americans. That's a staggering number. What if we could create small spaces for humans in airports, for Americans in airports, to get mini workouts? You don't have to get super sweaty, but what if we could put pull-up bars and dip bars and parallettes for push-ups or for L-sits? If we could put boxes for step-ups, maybe put some treadmills for people who want to walk near their gate. We can put some bars for stretching. We can put yoga mats and maybe some rolling pins for people to move their muscles. Anything to get people moving, maybe some exercise bikes. These would be a massive step in the right direction, and it's such a huge thing that we could do for Americans. Whenever I talk to people about this, they're super excited. Anyone I've talked to about the idea has just been, they smile, they get excited. Oh, a mini gym in an airport? That's great. I would use that for sure. I think if we could pair this with healthier food options, unprocessed foods, unprocessed meat, unprocessed plant foods, we could really help all of these millions of Americans every day that are traveling. So I want to commend Secretary Duffy and Secretary Kennedy for spearheading this effort. I mean, $1 billion of grants to help airports improve the quality of health for travelers every day, including mini gyms for all of us to move. This is incredible. We've got a pull-up bar set up behind us here, so I'm definitely going to get some pull-ups in with Secretary Duffy and Secretary Kennedy after this. But that's what that's there to signify, guys. The beginning of movement spaces for humans in airports. Hopefully we'll start with DCA and Dulles, but I'm excited to be a part of this. I'm grateful to be a part of this. I'm humbled that a piece of content that I did could have been seen by Secretary Duffy and that we could be a part of bringing this actual valuable resource to Americans throughout the country now. So I'm super grateful to be a part of implementing this and amplifying this message. And again, I want to commend Secretary Duffy and Secretary Kennedy for spearheading this effort. I think this is amazing. Modern life is not set up for us to be healthy as humans, but let's keep making small steps in that direction so that we can all become healthier, and then that directly leads to us being happier, more gracious, and more caring with everyone around us. So I'm super excited to be a part of this effort. Thank you both for this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
So I hear my wife talk a lot about, again, she traveled all throughout having our 9 kids, and she would always complain about the lack of facilities when she wanted to nurse. And it's maybe a little odd for 3 guys to talk about nursing and options for nursing. But Isabel Brown, who's a content creator, a young mother with a young baby who travels all the time, is one of many moms who have reached out to complain about the lack of facilities that actually operate, facilities that are clean. And so I've also heard that from young mothers. And so I want to turn it over to Isabel Brown to talk about her experience and maybe what we can do to improve the facilities for nursing mothers.
Absolutely. Thank you, Secretary Duffy, Secretary Kennedy, and the entire Trump administration for your leadership on this and this opportunity as a young woman to express the utmost importance of our ability to serve our children. In all my years of science education, I don't think we have yet figured out a way for men to breastfeed. So thank you for having a young woman's voice here. In many ways, as I have traveled the country day in and day out as a content creator, author, and speaker on college campuses nationwide, I've come to discover over the past few years that our culture has often developed a disdain for young mothers and our babies traveling. But the very nature of our very interconnected culture demands travel for young families every single day in America. It can be incredibly disheartening to see the rolled eyes and visible annoyance and anguish when we sit down with our babies on an airplane seat, but that pales in comparison to the jarring lack of support that many airports across the country provide for breastfeeding moms and baby-friendly spaces. The law does technically require every airport terminal to have a nursing room, but the context of the law says nothing about whether that space is clean, clearly marked, or actually monitored and maintained. So I've often found myself stranded in airports across the country trying to nurse my child when I'm on the go, or trying to pump and take it home with me safely, and seeing that outlets don't work, that there's no sink provided, the lights don't turn on, the door doesn't lock, and more often than not find myself resorting to an experience that I would much rather have avoided in the first place. And broader data tells us that the environment nationally is just not working for breastfeeding moms when they are on the go. A national survey from this year of more than 3,000 breastfeeding moms found that 55% of us do not feel supported in public places across our country like airports, and 81% have resorted to pumping or feeding in their car. Myself and many of my friends have, as a result, found ourselves feeding our babies or trying to pump while sitting uncomfortably in a noisy, messy bathroom stall. When moms feel uncomfortable in airports, we're not just imagining it, it's the infrastructure that is still patchy, it's inconsistent, and it's not designed with real families in mind. This leadership that we're seeing from Secretary Duffy, Secretary Kennedy, and of course President Trump speaks volumes about our desire to revive the American family today and encourage young women to embrace the beauty of motherhood. I find no coincidence that as our public spaces often fail to accommodate for young moms and our beautiful children day in and day out, we're often seeing the lowest fertility rates that we've ever seen in the last few years in American history. As we work to rebuild a culture that supports the entire parenting experience and encouraging young people to embrace the single most important vocation we possibly can experience in bringing new life into this world, we also must embrace this sacred responsibility to help moms feed our babies. I'm so excited about this Make Travel Family Friendly Again initiative and the leadership that we're seeing from Secretary Duffy, Secretary Kennedy, and President Trump in just that, and can't wait to see the American family continue to thrive. Thank you.
Thanks
So much. Thank you.
I was talking to one of the staffers at the White House late last week about this initiative. She was wildly excited because she said, you don't know how many nursing pods they've gone into where they're dirty and the electricity doesn't work. And if you could give us more, but also make sure they're maintained, as Isabel just mentioned, so important. We've also talked about making sure we have healthy options here and on-the-go healthy options. One of those is Farmer's Fridge, a healthier option for you if you have to grab food as you're switching between flights or you're coming a little later to the airport. Shame on you if you are coming late to the airport, but if you do come late to the airport and you have to grab something quick, Farmer's Fridge gives you a healthier option than maybe some others in the airport. I'm pleased to have Luke Saunders, who is the CEO of Farmer's Fridge, to talk a little bit about what he's doing and the health options he offers to America.
Thank you very much, Secretary Duffy and Secretary Kennedy. I'm Luke Saunders, the founder and CEO of Farmer's Fridge. I started the company 12 years ago because I was a frequent traveler. I was a traveling salesman on the road every single week, and I could not find healthy food options on the go. So I made it my mission to make fresh, healthy food as accessible as a candy bar. We started in a shared kitchen, a couple locations. Now we have over 2,000 fridge locations across the country. We partner with a lot of retailers, but we service over 30 airports in the United States. So I just can't say how much I appreciate you guys drawing attention to the need for more healthy food options in the airport, especially fresh, unprocessed food. We still do everything like we did on day one. We get whole fruits and vegetables in, chop them up, cook them, mix them, and bring you Farmer's Fridge 7 days a week, especially at the airport. So thank you guys for your support.
All right, so we are willing to take a few questions from the press. If you have any, just some ground rules. I'll take your questions, or for anyone here, as long as it's on the topic that we're discussing, what we're doing for travel, for airports, for healthier foods. If any of you want to come and do some pull-ups, we'll film you doing that as well. You can have at it. Yeah, go ahead.
Tim Carney, Washington Examiner. What feedback do you guys have any access to feedback from parents of what they actually want for kids? For instance, I don't know that my kids want to eat salads when they're traveling. What is the demand that parents have at airports that's not being met? Well,
and I can pass that to someone else if they want to take it, but I do know that a lot of parents feel like as they're entertaining their kids, there's cell phones and iPads, and Senator Kennedy mentioned that. But if you have a space where it's fun and clean for your child to burn some energy, we all know kids have a lot of energy. If you can give them a space where they can play and have fun in an airport, I think parents would prefer that option. I would always think, can I tire my kid out so they might sleep on the plane? That's always what I would like to have happen. And that play area is one that will do that. I know we would pack apples. Again, my 2-year-old's not eating a salad, right? I get that. But I think there is some planning ahead that parents take to think about what healthy options can they bring on the plane, because kids don't eat a whole lot, especially the young ones. But Senator Kennedy, I don't know if you or...
I have 3 small kids that they'll eat Farmer's Fridge. I know I work there, but there's Greek yogurt, chia pudding, some sandwiches and things like that are more kid-friendly. So we see kids go there all the time.
And Paul says they can eat beef sticks, eat a little meat, right, Paul?
No, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a child that doesn't like to eat meat. You know, you give a child little pieces of steak, my niece, my nephew, they just eat it up. So you give a kid high-quality meat, they're going to love it. With a little bit of fruit, that's easy.
Literally. Okay. What do you got?
Is there an update on the 2024 Department of Transportation proposal to make it to ban airlines from charging families from sitting together?
I don't have an update. I know that was under review at DOT. And again, I find it's an issue I'm sensitive to. I want families to be able to sit together. A lot of feedback I get is it's already happening, but that rule is under review, so no update.
Dave Shepardson from Reuters. You talked about, like the salty pretzels and the calorie-laden cookies. Is there anything you can do from a regulatory standpoint to force the airlines to do more, or is this just more trying to jawbone the airlines and the airports into voluntarily doing that?
I'm not a big government guy. I'm not fining anyone if they wear their pajamas on the airplane, right? That's not what we're doing. We're asking people to, again, maybe dress a little better. And I've asked airplanes to give some better options. It's all in the airline's purview, how they're going to respond to this. And I think they have some ideas of what they're thinking through to improve the experience. But no, this is not about mandates. This is not requirements. This is a conversation about, could we offer healthier options? Could we support nursing mothers? How do we make the experience as we all travel together just a little bit better? That's the conversation we're having, but I'm not cramming this down anyone's throat at all. Yeah. So the question is lowering the cost of food in airports, and again, it's interesting. It's market demand and supply. They have people, pretty tightly contained, and there's not a lot of options. And so I don't have a plan to reduce costs. What I am trying to do is provide healthier options for people. And again, who doesn't love a greasy burger at the airport? I know I do. Sometimes you're grabbing, chips. But are there options when you want that healthy choice that you can have access to? Because whenever I make those bad choices, I always feel like garbage when I get on the plane. Letting people have a better option, I think, is what we're focusing on here.
Sarah Plasso, CBS News.
Hey, Sarah.
2 quick questions, if I can. One is, do you have any kind of timeline that you're looking at for things such as the family lanes and such like that? And if I can squeeze in, as we head into the holiday season, airport, the experience at airports, what are you expecting? Any concerns?
Yeah, so we're sending the notice of funding opportunity out right now. And by the way, this is wide open for airports. What do you want to send us to incent us to give you part of this $1 billion? And I've mentioned a few things here, but there's other options that I might not have thought about that airports might present to us that we'll go for. Again, we're going to start to see those ideas come in. And by the way, anyone who's watching this, if you want to reach out to your airport authority and encourage them to participate in this money, please do that. Get your airports to partake. And again, it's going to be a busy season, right? Americans are traveling more than ever. We're beyond the COVID era. We're back at making historic levels of air travel, and especially during holiday seasons. And that's why during those times when we have more people together, and again, we're usually in a pretty good mood, we're in a celebratory mood, we're usually in a generous mood, but we do, when we come together, have to bring our best selves to the airport. And if more of us do that, I think we'll all have a better experience together. It's somewhat communal, right? We're all traveling together and being kind. And I've mentioned this before, but if I have an older person coming down the aisle and having a hard time lifting their bag up in the overhead bin, well, maybe you can help them out. This is my wife. I love her to death, but she seems to pack really as much stuff into her suitcase as possible, and it's really heavy. Maybe help, if you see someone who's having a hard time, help them out. I think if we do that for each other, I just think the experience is better for the people we travel with, but I think we feel better when we help. We had one more question, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You mentioned, in addition to this, the need for a $20 billion investment into infrastructure with air traffic control. I'm wondering if you can just give us an update on where that process is. You got to ask Congress for that. Are you hopeful that that's coming? Is there a timeline on that? Anything you can provide?
So I received $12.5 billion. And I want to just reiterate this. I've asked America to be better. We have to do our part. I think one of the most frustrating parts of travel is if you're delayed or if you're canceled. And sometimes it's the weather, sometimes it's the airline, but a lot of times it's our air traffic control system or the number of controllers that we have. I take that to heart. And so the $12.5 billion I mentioned earlier, we are going to get that money spent and those assets deployed by the end of President Trump's term. He's made that very clear, and I agree with him. The $20 billion, the Congress has to give it to us. And that really is the new system. We need a new software system that's going to manage the airspace. It's busy now. We just talked about, you asked the question about what's going to happen over Christmas. We just saw a historic level of travel during Thanksgiving. But as we look 5 years out, 10 years out, we're going to see an increase in air travel and complication in the airspace, 20, 30, 40%. So I need a new software system to manage the airspace, to bring more efficiency to the airspace, to make sure you're not delayed. And by the way, in an era of politics and partisanship, this is not partisan. Democrats and Republicans agree on this. Even the traveling public, Republican or Democrat, agree. Independents like it. And so it's just the Congress finding out the right vehicle to give us the money. And again, the sooner I get the money, the sooner I can complete or start this phase and then complete this phase of the mission. Anything else you want to add before we... may have that we can improve the experience. My favorite thing is to take your ideas, make them my own, and then sound really smart and insightful. And then you get the benefit of getting your idea implemented into a policy. And so I do think the public feedback has been remarkable for us. And we take it, we listen to it, and we have pure hearts trying to make your experience better in airports. It doesn't happen overnight. I can't fix it immediately, but you're going to see progressive improvement as you travel because of the hard work and effort that we're putting into making America great again, making travel great again, accomplishing the vision that President Trump had for travel and for this country. God bless and thank you all very much. Merry Christmas. By the way, now Bobby and Paul are going to do pull-ups if you want to watch this. I might do a couple. Turn this off. Come on. Oh. 20 or 21.
Go, Paul.
Yes, sir. Yeah. 2, 3. Lightweight. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, man.
He's coming for you, Paul.
He's coming for me. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Get up there.
He
Come on.
wants one more.
So I gotta say what. So if you're a content creator, that's one thing. But also, Health and Human Services is this is what they do. Like they just do pull-ups in the morning, noon, and night, right? DOT we don't. We're a little more sedentary. Is that what you said we are? Sedentary. All right. So I'll give you like 5.
Do you worry about people getting smelly in airports?
So that's a big question, Smelly. So we talked about that. I don't want you to have a full body sweat going on, so you stink. But if you do, do a few pull-ups, get your blood flowing. I think that's positive. So again, this is not like go to the gym, sweat, and then get on an airplane. People are usually moving through. They see a pull-up bar, they'll crank a couple pull-ups. some other options.
Even micro workouts are beneficial for humans physiologically. 2 to 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes. This can totally interrupt the inflammatory process. I think the goal that we're thinking about is mini gyms, 3 to 5, 10, 15-minute workouts. We don't need people to get sweaty. It can have a very positive health impact and a very positive mental impact with less than 15 minutes, which is the beauty of this. And then more people circulate through, more people get to use it. I was taking his shoes off. He's trying to get
You're going to take all the weight off. Reduce the weight.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. He's got at least 3 more. Come on.
Here we go. Come on.
Come on. 6, 7. Come on. 8. Come on. One more. One more. Yeah. Oh, you got one more. I think he's got 10. Come on. Oh, we count it.
What about only 8 with the shoes on?
Good job.
Thanks, man. Hey, Paloma, come and do a couple.
Yeah.
So this is my daughter, Paloma. Here's my little workout fiend. She puts this whole to shame.
Wow.
She's the one that found Paul on Instagram.
Wow. 1,
Here we go.
2, 3, real. 4, nice, Paloma. 5.
Wow.
6, that is
Swinging.
Whoa, come on.
Only dad can swing.
Whoa. I think you could beat your dad. Come on.
Oh, dad.
That's 10 and this one's 10.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
get 11,
One
oh, she's
more.
going to beat you.
Beat Secretary. There we go.
Oh. 13. Good job. Guns. That's guns.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate
Anybody
it.
else from the press that would like to join the pull-up bar? We have apples and oranges, and as
Rewards.
yes, we have some meat sticks for you guys. Anybody, come on.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No takers.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys.
So yeah.
Quick photo.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Look at this nice really quick. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Let's do one more. One more right here.
One more?
Yep.
Sorry. Come on, Bob. One more.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Contrary to what I was saying, I think I could smell it.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Amazing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys.
Humans
Appreciate
are
it.
allowed to smell. Humans
No problem. One
All right.
All right.
Yeah, that was that. The audio was clean. Yeah, no, that was. Huh? No. But you fixed it.
Big.
Yeah.
Big influence.
Oh yeah.
The music wireless. You know the wireless in the frequency. Yeah. Frequency.
I'm gonna stop transmission. I'm gonna.
Sure. Yeah.